Good morning, the Honorable Advisor and Examiner. My name is Rahma Maulida, and today I would like to present about my thesis result entitled The Effect of Gender Congruity and Expertise of Endorser on Consumer Attitude Towards the Ad and Brand. So this is an experimental study of an endorsement in Indonesia. So nowadays, there are so many people around the world using social media, and it has become the definition of technology of our time really fast. And based on the data from the population of Indonesia, which is 268 million, there are 130 million social media users. And the fact that Instagram is the third of the most active social media platforms in 2019 after YouTube and Facebook, it makes Instagram is a big marketplace for growing business. Instagram somehow forms the new model of endorsement, and it's done by the public figure called celebgram, which is celeb on Instagram. On the other hand, there are so many various people in social media with their own purpose and story behind, and it impacts both consumer behavior and marketing practice. So that's why understanding consumer behavior is becoming more complex. And building a brand through the consumer attitude is way more harder for marketers. First study has done to examine the endorser credibility and gender of audiences on the consumer attitudes toward the ad and brand, like Ohanian, Boyd and Sang, Pitts et al. However, there are no one that focused on expertise of endorser and the gender congruity of endorser and consumers. Why this is important? First, social media provides the business model and underlying technology that are making up the ecosystem and industry. Second, understanding customer behavior is becoming more complex. The third, of course, endorsement requires high cost. This research is expected to help many companies or organizations that often use endorsement as their marketing tool to give their deeper understanding about endorsement in order to make this more effective in enhance consumer attitude towards the ad and brand. Literature review. And for endorsement theory, I use McCracken 1989, which says endorsement is a marketing technique in which any individual who enjoys public recognition and who use this recognition when they appear in advertisement in front of consumers. And for attitude theory, according to Hawkins et al. 2007 and Schiffman and Kanak 2006, attitude is a consistent positive or negative reaction towards certain things through learning process. There are three components of attitudes, which are cognitive components, affective components, and also conative components. And these are the definition of each variable based on previous study. And this is my research model. The research model is modified from Klaus and Bailey 2008, Praden et al. 2017, and also Acker and Jacobson 2001. Research methodology. So my research design is a quantitative research, which is the laboratory experiment with two design of gender, which are male and female, times two design of expertise, which are low and high. And manipulation check used to emphasize whether the participant can distinguish between high and low expertise of endorser. And it also used to emphasize whether the participant assume that the fictive skincare that used in this research can be used for unisex. Participant of experiment. So for the manipulation check, it used 30 millennials who are between 23 years old until 38 years old. And for the experiment itself, it used around 200 millennials, and it used randomization technique with 4 experimental groups, and each group consists of 50% of male and 50% of female. The data collecting methods. So it is conducted in Indonesia, and the questionnaire is created by the help of Google Forms, which is online questionnaire. And the questionnaire itself consists of semantic differential scale 1 until 7 and Likert scale 1 until 7. Data analysis method. This research used one-way ANOVA test and regression with the help of SPSS 22 version. So this is the result of manipulation check in expertise of endorser. So we can see that the homogeneity test of variance significance level is 0.029, and the significance level of one-way ANOVA test is 0.00. And then for the main comparisons of expertise, for the low expertise is 2.19 and high expertise is 6.27. Manipulation check result for product use. So for the homogeneity test of variance significant level is 0.5, and for the one-way ANOVA test significance level is 0.7. And for the mean comparison of product use, for female is 6.5 and for male is 6.4. It means that the participant rated this product can be used for both female and male, which is unisex. Thus, the fictive product can be used for this experiment. Hypothesis testing result. As we can see on the homogeneity test of variance, all of the hypotheses has the significance level of 0.0. It means the variants are not homogeneous. However, based on the homogeneity assumption, ANOVA works well even when this assumption is violated, except in the case where there are unequal numbers of subjects in the various groups. If the variances are not homogeneous, they are said to be heterogeneous. Thus, ANOVA test still can be conducted. As we can see on the hypothesis 1, ANOVA testing result significant level is 0.0, and the mean comparison of female consumer towards female endorser is 4.9. On the other hand, for female consumer towards male endorser are 3.3. So it means the gender congruity between endorser and audiences evokes higher attitude towards the ad on female audience, rather than the gender incongruity between endorser and audience does. On the hypothesis 2, ANOVA testing result significance level is also 0.0, and the mean comparisons between male consumer towards female endorser is 2.9, and male consumer towards male endorser is 4.6. So it means that hypothesis 2 is accepted, and gender congruity between endorser and audiences evoke higher attitude towards the ad on male audience, rather than gender incongruity between endorser and audience does. On the hypothesis 3, ANOVA testing result significance level is 0.0, and the mean comparison on the female consumers toward female endorsers is 4.7, and female consumers toward male endorser is 3.1. It means that hypothesis 3 is accepted, and gender congruity between endorser and audience evokes higher brand attitude on female audience, rather than gender incongruity between endorser and audience does. And for the hypothesis 4, As we can see, the ANOVA testing result significance level is also 0.0. And the mean comparison of male consumers toward female endorser is 2.8, and male consumers toward male endorsers is 4.6. So it means that hypothesis 4 is accepted, and gender congruity between endorser and audience evokes higher brand attitude on male audience rather than gender incongruity between endorser and audience does. Hypothesis 5. The ANOVA testing result significance level of this hypothesis is 0.0. And for the mean comparison of female consumers towards high expertise endorser is 4.6. Meanwhile, for the female consumers towards low expertise endorser is 3.6. It means that hypothesis 5 is accepted. An endorser with high expertise evokes higher attitudes towards the ad on female audience rather than endorser with low expertise does. Hypothesis 6. The ANOVA testing result significance level of this hypothesis is 0.0. And for the mean comparison of male consumers towards high expertise endorser is 4.6. Meanwhile, for the male consumers towards low expertise endorser is 2.8. So it means that hypothesis 6 is accepted, and endorser with high expertise evokes higher attitudes towards the ad on male audiences rather than endorser with low expertise does. Hypothesis 7. The ANOVA testing result significance level of this hypothesis is 0.0. And for the mean comparison of female consumers towards high expertise endorser is 4.4. And on the other hand, for female consumers towards low expertise endorser is 3.3. So it means that hypothesis 7 is accepted. An endorser with high expertise evokes higher brand attitude on female audience rather than endorser with low expertise does. Hypothesis 8. The ANOVA testing result significance level of this hypothesis is 0.0. And for the mean comparison of male consumers towards high expertise is 4.5. On the other hand, for male consumers towards low expertise endorser is 3.0. So it means that hypothesis 8 is accepted. An endorser with high expertise evokes higher brand attitude on male audience rather than endorser with low expertise does. So the last hypothesis used regression. And for the regression testing result, the estimate value is 0.9 and t-value is 34. This hypothesis is supported because the t-value is greater than 1.96 and significance level is 0.0. So this result shows that hypothesis 9 is accepted and attitude towards the ad has an impact on brand attitude. So there are 3 points in discussion. The first one is gender congruity evokes higher on attitudes towards the ad and brand on both female and male audiences. It can happen because the awareness of healthy skin in Indonesia is getting increased. The skincare product innovation is also increased. Suppose there are so many products that already can be used for unisex. The Indonesian customers still concerned on the products that they find it can be used for their gender. Second, high expertise of endorser evokes higher attitudes towards the ad and brand on both male and female audiences. It can happen because the awareness of healthy skin in Indonesia is getting increased. It is caused by the influence of the influencer that spread the information that skincare is important in climate change. Thus, many consumers in Indonesia tend to seek more about the product quality that match for their skin needs. And the last point is attitude towards the ad has an impact on brand attitude. So there are 3 points of conclusion in this research. The first one is gender congruity plays an important role in skincare industry in Indonesia because both male and female consumers will give higher attitudes towards the ad that featuring endorser that match with their gender. And second, expertise is still significant in influencing customer attitudes towards the ad and brand. And the last, attitudes towards the ad has an impact on brand attitude. Managerial implications. To increase brand attitude, skincare industry can use endorsement on their advertisement. However, there are several points that marketers should consider. The first one is they should make sure that they choose the endorser that has the same gender with their target markets, because we know that gender congruity is still plays an important role in pursuing customers. And second, marketers should make sure that the endorser has high level of expertise, because nowadays skincare is becoming high involvement, so consumer will not risk their healthy skin. So more expertise in skincare will more pursuing consumers. So that's all of my research. Thank you for listening.